Restlessness for God Vision Master. To Gurish. One can realize God through intense renunciation. But the soul must be restless for him. As restless as one feels for a breath of air when one's head is pressed under water. A man can see God if he unites in himself the force of these three attractions. The attraction of worldly possessions for the worldly man. The husband's attraction for the chaste wife. And the child's attraction for its mother. If you can unite these three forms of love and give it all to God, then you can see Him at once. Cry to your mother Siyama with a real cry. O mind! And how can she hold herself from you? If a devotee prays to God with real longing, God cannot help revealing Himself to him. The other day I told you the meaning of bhakti. It is to adore God with body, mind, and words. With body means to serve and worship God with one's hands. Go to holy places with one's feet. Hear the chanting of the name and glories of God with one's ears. And behold the divine image with one's eyes. With mind means to contemplate and meditate on God constantly and to remember and think of His Lila. With words means to sing hymns to Him and chant His name and glories. Devotion as described by Narada is suited to the Kali Yuga. It means to chant constantly the name and glories of God. Let those who have no leisure worship God at least morning and evening by wholeheartedly chanting His name and clapping their hands. The ego of a devotee begets no pride. It does not create ignorance. On the contrary, it helps one realize God. This ego is no more like the ordinary ego than Hinch is like ordinary greens. One generally becomes indisposed by eating greens. But Hinch removes excessive bile. It does one good. Sugar candy is not like ordinary sweets. Sweets are generally harmful, but sugar candy removes acidity. Nishtha leads to bhakti. Bhakti, when mature, becomes bhava. Bhava, when concentrated, becomes mahabhava. And last of all is prema. Prema is like a cord. By prema God is bound to the devotee. He can no longer run away. An ordinary man can at best achieve bhava. None but an Isvarakoti attains mahabhava and prema. Chaitanyadeva attained them. What is the meaning of Jnana Yoga? It is the path by which a man can realize the true nature of his own self. It is the awareness that Brahman alone is his true nature. Prahlada sometimes was aware of his identity with Brahman. And sometimes he would see that God was one and he another. At such times he would remain in the mood of bhakti. Hanuman said, O Rama, sometimes I find that you are the whole and I a part. Sometimes that you are the master and I your servant. But, O Rama, when I have the knowledge of reality, I see that you are I and I am you. Gurish. Ah, quote,